welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out. Welcome back to that same old place that you laughed about. Well, the names have all changed since you hung around, but those dreams have remained and they've turned around. Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Who'd have thought they'd lead ya? Back here where we need ya. Back here where we need ya. Yeah, the G's in my lot, 'cause we got him on the spot. Welcome back.
This one, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Give it a stretch. Okay. Hopefully you are ready to be productive. I know I am. This is my second one of these ciphers. And speaking of ciphers, welcome to untilit.works. A cipher is a 3-hour block of time. Within each cipher, there are sessions. There is a work session and a break session. Work sessions are like 45 minutes, heads down, working on what you're working on, is trying to make some progress on a thing, right? Break sessions happen 15 minutes after the hour. I'll pop up here to remind you, hey, time to take a break. Get up, drink some water, stretch, do what you got to do, but just don't think about the thing that you're just working on. You can just sit here and watch me talk about something I found interesting. The point is, as long as you're not thinking about the thing you're working on, let your mind relax. All right. So, like I said, I'll pop up here in the video, kind of taking over the whole screen, like, hey, take a break. If you ever come to the site and we're in the middle of a break session, the video may look like it's frozen. And that's because browsers don't allow for autoplay video with audio. And that's why the little notice there saying you may need to click play to start the stream. Cool. Next to that is a button to open up closed caption. So what that'll do is it'll open up a space. And I'm using the speech recognition API that's built into Chrome browsers to turn my speech into text. And so hopefully the words I am saying are being turned into text accurately, and they'll show up in that space when you click that button. Then we have 2 other buttons below that. If there's ever anything during these break sessions that you thought, oh, that's kind of cool, it'd be cool to clip that out, well, you can. So if you click add a clip, it'll go back a couple of seconds from that moment that you were doing, and it will record a timestamp. You get 5 timestamps. Each clip is 5 seconds long. And if you click that create a highlights video, what will happen is that when I shut down the break session and go back to the work session, it will take those stored timestamps, take the recording of the break session, cut out the timestamps, make some clips, join them together, put an intro, put an outro, and then you'll be able to check it out. And I'll show you where you can check that out. Then there's a countdown timer, countdown to when the next work session happens. And there's if you'd like to join the chat and ask questions or what have you, you can click join the room. Cool. That is the break session. Work session looks something like this. Share my screen here. Eventually, cool. This one. So it looks similar to this. In the upper right-hand corner, you have the menu. So if you click subscribe, it has a list of all the upcoming ciphers. You can subscribe to get notified when we go live. Then on the other side, there's a audio player. So if you want to listen to music to what you work on what you're working on, I had some really, really talented producers submit some instrumentals that if you want to listen to, you can check them out. They're also it's also a Bandcamp player so that you can purchase the track, you can share the track, and I added the ability to tweet it out. So if you like to spread the word about some really cool artists, feel free to do so, please and thank you. Towards the center there, we have a to-do section where it says add a task. You type in the task, hit enter or the plus button. It'll add it to the list of tasks. You can edit the task by clicking the text. You can delete it by clicking the X button, and you can mark it done by clicking the checkbox. That will then send it to the done section, which you can click the word done and see all things you got completed. If you click that Twitter icon, it'll open up Twitter and it'll pre-populate a tweet with all the things you got completed. Kind of a nice way of saying like, oh, I got some stuff done, check some things off, feeling good going into the week. At least for me, that's what it is. Over in the right you we have a countdown timer, countdown to when the next break session happens. Again, that's 15 minutes after the hour. View tutorials. So let's say you have a feeling you just want to be productive today, but you don't have a thing you want to be productive about. So and you heard that, hey, you know what, this coding thing, this web development thing I'm hearing is pretty cool. So I have links to Free Code Camp and the Odin project. And from what I've seen from the curriculum, what people have told me, that have gone through them. I think that if you go through them, you'll have a good understanding of what it takes to do web development if you complete them. Now, from there, you can make an educated decision on whether or not you want to spend more time and or money in pursuing web development. So I have those there. Now, if you're already into web development and you're looking for maybe like a quick project to get your creative juices going, I have 3 tutorials there. And as part of my role as a JavaScript developer advocate at Vonage, I kind of like look over tutorials. Now, these are old tutorials. I have to update to do the new ones, but ain't nobody got time for that. So, well, no, I think I could actually. They should just be able to. I'm pretty sure I'm pulling them from a database, so I'm pretty sure I can just change the database data in the database, and it should reflect. I don't know. My bad. Back to this. So, part of my tutorial. So there's tutorials there, and what you can do is, I think they're pretty cool. You follow them, you come out with a pretty cool project. Like, for example, one of them is you follow the tutorial, you end up with an application where there's an input box and a call button. You put in your real world phone into that input box, hit call, and your real world phone will ring. And you can have a conversation back and forth between the application and your real world phone. Pretty dope. Then I have the opposite, where you get a virtual number. You call that virtual number from your real world phone. The application you create, you'll be able to answer that call and have a conversation back and forth. Then there's one where like 2 users like log in to an application and one can call the other through the browser and they can have a conversation. I think it's pretty dope. So there's that for you. Now, yeah, Hako will come back to show and tell sign up. If you want to come up here and talk about something you found interesting on the internet, feel free to do so. Show and tell sign up will walk you through that process. Highlight section. That video you sent to be created, well, what happened is right there, it'll say status submitted. And when it's ready to be viewed, it'll say status done, and a view button will show up. You can click view. You'll be able to preview the video. You can download the video. You can also click to share to Twitter. Twitter sometimes shows the video depending on the URL. Sometimes it doesn't. So what I do is that since I post to other social media with the video, I just attach it to the tweet so that I know that it'll be there when it's posted. All right. So now Hako. Hako stands for Help a Coder/Creator Out. As a thing I made for that, if you ever get stuck or if I get stuck on something, you're able to create a room where you can then invite people into the room, and then together, collectively, you'll be able to either get the solution or the feedback or help on whatever it is that you're working on. So if you click View Hako, it'll show you all the different Hakos that have been created. There's a filter for different keywords. So if you want to narrow it down, you can click the creator's name to either open up Twitter or GitHub, depending on what they logged in with, so that you can check out their profile, see whether or not you want to request to join. Now, when you click Create a Hako, you're presented with this form where you can then put in the title, 3 keywords, and you hit create. It'll generate a unique URL that you can then copy, or you can click share directly to Twitter, and then you join your own Hako. You got the title at the top. Over on the right-hand side, you can leave the Hako. You can open the menu for some more options. We have a text chat here on the right side. On the left side is another countdown timer. Countdown when the next break session happens. You can copy the URL again, and you can click to share to Twitter. Now, when someone clicks your link, they just automatically jump into your room. They're actually going to request to join your room. So they'll pop up under pending. You can check their profile, either Twitter or GitHub, by clicking the username, and then you'll be able to determine whether or not you want to let that person into your room. So you can approve or deny them. Now, let's say you do approve them and they turn out to be a terrible person, you can always ban them. Now, you as the owner of the Hako, only you can share your screen. And the reason for that, again, is for that you want to get help for the thing that you're working on. And I think by being able to show people what it is that you're working on, it'll give them more context so they can help you better, I think, at least in my mind. So that's that. The way you can communicate to Hako is through a text chat. So you type in your message here towards the bottom, hit send, and it'll add it to a list of messages. Now, I also added the ability to enable audio chat. So anybody who has their audio chat enabled will be able to speak to and hear each other. Now, but don't worry for the folks that don't have audio chat enabled. You'll still be able to follow along because what people are saying will be turned into text and put into the text chat. Cool. They also have the opposite where you can enable text to speech. So whatever messages are put into the text chat, they'll be read out aloud by your browser. So that way you don't have to keep looking at the text chat to follow what's going on. And then, yeah, you can check all the different other Hakos that have been created. And I think that is it. Nice. So I'm going to get y'all back to work because I like to get back to work. And when we come back, I think I'm going to show what I've been working on is this new project that is kind of going to help build on top of other projects. And it kind of like is helping with a project I already did, which I'm kind of redoing. So it's like a whole puzzle piece thing. So it's like kind of like a linchpin in the puzzle. So I'm going to need to like refer to it from other projects that I'm working on. So I want to get it done now. So it's there and at least I can refer to it. I don't know if that made any sense, but to me, that's what I'm working on. So I'm going to show what I've been working on kind of. So that's the whole point. So I'm going to show what I've been working on basically. Yeah, I'm learning a lot because I'm using Astro as like the framework. I'm learning a lot since I've last used it because a lot of things have happened. And so it's cool to kind of like, oh, there's some new things that can help with this. And especially now with the Astro DB, I think I'm going to use that in this project just to kind of play around with it. So it's not too complex, right? So those are the best ones for me to try new things with. You know what I mean? Because sometimes if a project is already like this site, whole lot of stuff happening with this site. And for me to try something new would be a lot without actually knowing like the ins and out and maybe some errors I may run into. So being able to kind of just have like this small project that's kind of starting off. It's starting off small. Who knows what happens? But right now, I'm going to see about adding that. So there's a few things I want to add to it, and I'll talk about that when we come back. But let me get y'all back to work because I want to get back to work, like I said. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna send you all off with some traveling music. This right here is an artist that goes by the name of this load Anthony Cruz, aka A Butter. The track is called Thank You. Thanks for hanging out. See you 15 minutes after the hour. Till then, I wish you much productivity and y'all be easy. Thanks again. Be easy. Peace.
I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I want to say thank you for being there when a brother had nowhere to turn to. You were there, and I feel like hell, and everybody says hell. We spread love like hell. I want to say thank you for holding on when a brother was down and out. Now I feel so strong, and I want to say thank you for being there.